Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and I don't know about you, but I was double duck dared for a challenge, and guess what? It's on, Laura. It's on. First of all, what this challenge is all about to begin with is, Boggy Creek has a camp for kids with all kinds of medical issues that they're able to go to camp, enjoy camp, be with people who have the same type of disorders, medical things that they do during a certain week of the year, and they get to experience camp life that they wouldn't otherwise be able to go to camp. So, Billy of Crafty Floridian, Lynette of Charmed Grammy, also, She's Got Yarn Too, Nancy. They have been doing this thing, they started last year because of Nancy's mother, Sue. She is involved with a group of ladies that would make baskets, and one year they decided they wanted to include some other things, do something different. So they kind of asked Nancy if she could help with that, and she kind of went with Billy. And so they've been doing this Boggy Creek last year. I think they took in 375. Don't quote me on that number. But it was quite a few Boggy Creek blankets for the kids so that when they leave camp, they can take those blankets home. Well, they're doing that challenge again this year. But you need to follow up on Billy or Charm Grammy or Nancy's channels. And I'm going to have all that linked down below for the dates when those are to be turned into them. And they are generally, I think they said by January, maybe the middle of January, maybe the end of January, because they deliver them in February of that year. Now those blankets, there are specifications that they do want for those blankets so that blankets can go home with the kids. So Afghans can be crocheted or knitted and should be about 35 by 40 inches wide by 40 to 50 inches long. Now I know Debbie of the Crochet Crocheter in Canada is also going to be doing some quilts. So I've got a couple of quilts here that I'm going to quilt and probably throw in as well. But let me tell you, these ladies, the three of them get together, and with Sue when her internet connects, every Wednesday or every other Wednesday lives. As the blankets come in, they show the blankets that are made, those kind of things. Well, Lynanne of Nina's Knots Crochet also knew that there are a lot of you that don't like to make granny squares. So she offered for folks to send her 5-inch granny squares. She would put a border around them and join them together, and that way she would get those as well to Boggy Creek for this challenge. So I hope that you're considering doing this, whether it's granny squares or blankets itself, Afghans. But then here comes along this crazy lady, Laura, Mad Mimi's Farming and Crochet, or Crochet and Farming. And she's kind of weird anyway, so she threw down this challenge. She's calling it the I Double Duck Dare You. And what she's daring you to do is to send Lynanne 17 squares, 5-inch squares, or more. But they have to be to Lynanne by October the 15th. No later. She won't make them. What Mimi has suggested that she will do, because she really detests making granny squares, is that she will make 3 granny squares per year 17, which quite honestly, Laura, that's really not good enough. It really isn't. But if that's all that you can muster, fine. We'll go with that. Okay? So, what she wants you to do is to make 17 5-inch granny squares. Mail them to Lynanne in Silver Springs, Florida by October the 15th. And you need to include a note that says, I double duck dared you to make 17 squares or more. And here's a caveat too. Also add the words quack quack. If you add the words quack quack, she might make a few more. And I really think we should all add lots of quacks at the end of our note so that she is required to make more than 3 per 17 that we're making. So, and apparently, you know, Laura says she doesn't really have any balls in her underwear, that kind of thing. So, you know, I have a lot of balls all around me. So I'm going to be doing this challenge. So, Laura, it's on. Really, it's on. And I'd like to challenge all of you to send in some squares too. And follow up with Mad Mimi. And let's make sure that Laura has to make 3 per every 17 that we send in. So let's get it done. Let's get this done for Boggy Creek. Now I almost feel sorry for Lynanne. Just because I know you guys are going to meet this challenge. And you're probably going to surpass this and she's going to be swimming in squares. But, come on folks, it's all for a good cause, right? So let's do it. So, the only things you need to remember are they must be 5-inch squares. Not necessarily just a granny square. I'm sure you can do the solid granny square or even just a 5-inch square. Just make sure it's 5 inches, knitted or crocheted. Make sure that you weave in your ends. Don't leave them like this. And the reason I add that is because at the Prayer Shawl Ministry, I put together blankets that people bring in squares. They don't weave in their ends, so I have to weave in the ends before I can even start putting the blankets together. But let's meet that challenge that Lala of Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming has put out there for us. So let's join her in this double duck dare challenge. All right, guys, that's it. I'll see you guys soon. As always, I'm going to leave the information down below for all of these, for Boggy Creek, for the videos that Lynette has done on Boggy Creek, as well as Boggy Creek's video on A Place, Little Magic, I think is what it's called, something like that. But you're going to get to see all that information down below this video. Just remember to click down. You'll see underneath the video, it'll have a little bit of a description. Click the more, and you should be able to follow that all down. Copy and paste into a document for yourself, so that way you know all the correct addresses and those kind of things, so that you're sending it to the correct places. Otherwise, you can send blankets to Lynette at Charm Grammy. Her information is down below, as well as most of them are going to Nancy because she is in Florida right there. So, yeah, let's get it done. And Lynanne is going to do all the squares, put them together. So let's make a few squares and send them off. All right, guys. See you guys soon. Bye.